We're live again. Bit of Qarx. Don't know how you say this one. I'm gonna go for Qarx, even though there's no U. Pressing number 2. Oh, Kempston joystick operational. Didn't like that. Let's try rebooting. I pressed 3 for high scores, but it didn't do anything. Oh, this time I pressed up. I can't find the buttons. Do we start? I can never find the buttons. It's specky games. I try and set up the joystick. It doesn't love it though. Your Sinclair proudly presents. Try a different version. Download full poke database. Poke finder. Is it? Yeah. I can't even get the controls to work though. I'm still just rolling another smoke now. Getting to the end of the night. Did you lot code this? You know it says your Sinclair proudly presents, and then it says at the bottom about the best magazine and that. Did you lot do it? Or was it? Did they add this? I've got my joystick set up as an interface Sinclair 2. If I press the key 2, it doesn't do anything. If I press like the directions on the joystick, it does. But I don't know. Oh, that's high scores. Okay, that's down. Steve, hello mum, how are you? Yeah, right takes you to that. Operational. And then left. Oh, define keys. Okay, that'll work. What one did I do is 4? Yes. Oh, I thought I had to get over the mushroom. Just figuring it out on this go. I was pressing the keyboard numbers and they weren't doing anything. But my joystick was acting as the numbers, so I managed to figure it out. Cool, this is hard, you're right. I love the sound. That's great sound for a 48K, isn't it? I like the sound of that. You did only when they paid you. That's flipping brilliant. I'm the top scorer already. Look. Did they pay a lot of money for this thing? difficult one. Oh, float up into the nudge. Okay, it looks like I'm gonna have to restart. It's fun though. Do you know what? In terms of specky cover tapes, it's not a bad one really. You're getting like a full game here, aren't you? Oh, can I shoot that stuff? I don't think I can. Oh, it's hard to stop, isn't it? Yeah, it's like some sort of inertia going on. It's a little bit clunky maybe. Or maybe it's just because I'm using an analog stick that's designed for an Xbox One. Oh, the time, yeah, you told me about that, didn't you? Oh, I thought it had a power up. Need pokes. Oh, it came down and got me. What a brutal game. Yes, it's definitely got some pixel. I can feel that I'm moving to the left and it takes ages. It seems to stay at 0 a long time. Do you know what I mean? It's probably intentional that. It helps you control it when you get used to it. Oh, these brutal them flying things. Them crosshairs. And then the scrolling, let's have a look at this. Because I'm impressed even by the like these you know how the menu transitioned in and out there, and even them colours. How is that done? Because that's 8x1, isn't it? Did he know about 8x1 back in the 80s then? I thought that was a relatively new thing. Oh, maybe that is just one cell, is it? I don't know. It looks smaller than a cell. That colour. Let's try and pause it on a colour. See that magenta there, like on the bottom of hello, and then the blue is there, right next to it, with a black hole in the O. That's 3 colours, isn't it? In one character cell. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe a character cell's smaller than I thought. I mean, I'd done that example the other day, didn't I, where I drew all colours on the screen. You could clearly see how big a character cell was, but I've forgotten. Let's finish off this smoke, I'm needing it. How were you doing that then? Like, how do you do it? Like, I still don't know, yeah. Because you can't, like, split a character cell in two, can you, you know? In the attribute bits, I mean. But yeah, well done. It's a bloody great game. I'll probably have another go at it in a sec. I just want to make the smoke. I want to see the graphical scrolling though. You know, the pixel scrolling. But it's interesting how they've done this high scores one like that, but then in the game there's not so much colour. I mean, there is colour there, but you know. I forget, did you just make the sprites, like the art assets, or did you do all the actual colour coding and stuff yourself? Or was that your business partner? Amazing stuff nonetheless, to even get it onto the magazine and have them pay you. I assumed that they didn't even pay for anything most of the time. Like, you know, I got Dizzy, the very first Dizzy game. I got it for the whole game for free on Covertape, but I just assumed that Codemasters paid the magazine to put it there. You know what I mean? Not the other way around. Okay, amazing. I was reading about double buffering, and I don't know how it has anything to do with the colours, but the guy who was explaining it was saying you can use double buffering. Yeah, it's a job application to your Sinclair, yeah, or to, or did this just like form part of your like application? You just showed off that you've done use Sinclair. God, it's amazing. I just was so stupid back then. I thought it was like absolute impossible to do stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, I see. I mean, that's sort of like what I want to do eventually. I want to make some games in Unity, and then I'd have some Spectrum assembly games I'd created. Then I'd have some databasing that I'd done online, you know, for web database, and I'd just build up a bit of a portfolio, you know. But sadly, I end up not finishing, and I just keep digging further into rabbit holes. That's how I sort of go instead. That looks really cool though. Even that Qarx thing there would take a bit of programming, wouldn't it? Once you've learnt to program that Quarks bouncing around, you could basically create a whole game. I sort of remember you telling me that now, yeah. I bet did he go on to do any other game companies? Or just stuck at Codemasters for a very long time? I wonder, was the Oliver twins linked with Codemasters back then? I think they were, heavily. For some reason it's not moving left and right now. Oh yeah. It's just the time that's going to get me in it. And oh, I'll tell you what, I've seen commercial Spectrum games that are like this. And slower. With really bad scrolling, you know. I should put a poke on and just look at the graphics, like you said. It's from a simpler time though, isn't it? Yeah, it's just a little challenge of the game. And like you said as well a minute ago, it's good just to look at, A, for the memories, and B, just to look at the effects in use. Look at that Exord sprite there. Need to learn about all that. So You've got a transparent effect going on there. Do you know what I mean? The thing's not square, but you don't see the square. There's a lot on show here actually in terms of graphical effects, isn't there? When I move past that tree, you can see it perfectly. I still don't know how to do that. Oh, here you've got one. What is that F1 car doing up there? I don't get that. I know it's probably a spaceship, but I was shooting it and it wasn't dying. I'd be so happy if I made something like this. You know what I mean? I'd be ecstatic about it. Still to this day, I'd use it in my portfolio. Do you know what I mean? If I made this. This proves you can do everything. It's got nothing, you know, it's got scrolling. It's got this sort of transparent see going on. Oh, I've just pressed all the wrong buttons here. Did you really? Ported them from an Atari ST. My mind blows with that, yeah. Because it is just a series of ones and zeros, isn't it? Like, then it wouldn't be that hard to type it out manually, the sprites, I wouldn't have thought, but that's just my stupid brain, I think. Yeah, it's like a CV. And the way I look at it, just from my point of view, is it's a challenge to try and recreate something like that. Even that Qarx bouncing thing, you know, that's something I might try and do. To be honest, even that shows everything. If you just added the scrolling background behind that and masked the Qarx, that shows everything, doesn't it? What's Diga's Elite? Is that like a graphical drawing app, is it? How do I redefine keys? Oh, that one. Okay. So he's used segment 1 like I was doing, wasn't he? Seg 0 is the UI, and then the other two look like. It does make sense to keep them within the segments, I think. I'm not sure if it even matters, but it seems to make it easier on the brain. Finally, I shot that thing. I absolutely love it, man. That's gonna get me though, isn't it? What a git. And the time. You can notice, even in this game though, that your up and down movement is smoother than your left right. Like, that's really smooth when you get used to it. That feels amazing, you know. But the left and right, it's a little bit clunky. And I think it is a limitation of the specky, that really. You have to sort of find a sweet spot where it just feels right. Because you can never get it dead the same unless it's too slow. I think that's everyone though, isn't it? You always have to find your own way. No one's going to show you exactly how to make a full game, especially in them days. There was no internet for you to learn from. Or if there was, it was like a message board on a Commodore or something. I love it, yeah, it's a good little graphical game. I'm not a huge fan of shooters actually to play in my spare time. If I'm honest, I've never bothered to complete R-Type. Like some games I'll keep trying, like Golden Axe for example. But with R-Type, I get to a certain stage, die at it, and think, oh, that'll do. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think it is to do with the spectrum. There may be a way around it, but you'd have to slow down the Y so much to compensate for your X having that sort of range, if you know what I mean. But I'm never good at explaining it. But in my head, that sort of makes sense. It's really cool though. I'd love even to be able to make this screen. How many lines of colour are there? There's a lot of lines of colour, aren't there? I'd love to know how that was done. And show that on a video. That would be a superb video. Because I get it that font is taking up more than one character cell, obviously. So I guess it's probably taking up 4 character cells per font. But still, there's a lot of colours there. It does show off momentum and gravity. I mean, if I'm going to be this, I always think of stuff critically for myself for projects, and I think, could my time be better spent on another system? But I still am enjoying exploring the specky, and I'm learning a lot about base like computing knowledge. Do you know what I mean? Like that's what I like. There's none of this sort of framework. Before, I used to write code, and then I'd realise that there was already a function made to do the exact thing I was doing. For velocity and stuff. And then I like it here where it's just you've got nothing. All you've got is like an empty row of memory, and you've just got to come up with a way of doing it. I really like that. So I do love the specky for that. Yeah, I think I've had enough of that one now though. I think I'll slip into Golden Axe before sleep. I'll probably do a stop start so I don't need to mess about with the videos. Because I've got a feeling I might complete the Golden Axe as well. Yeah, I'm going to upload this to YouTube for what it's worth, a little playthrough of this. Oh, what do you mean? Yeah. I forgot. I talk and I forget what I've even bloody said I do. But yeah, I am keen to do some 6502, and I've actually had quite a few people ask me whether I'm going to do that in chat when I've been in chat rooms, like in other people's YouTubes. They ask me if I'm doing 6502. I think some of the real beginners have seen the Z80 and maybe would like to see the NES and the C64, like the very beginner stuff, which is great. So you've got to begin somewhere, and I'm still able to remember what it's like being an absolute beginner. So I'm not that far above that right now. So any young lad or lady that is learning computer science in school has probably got the same knowledge as me. So anyone can get into it. Yeah, I love it. I'm going to come straight back. I'm stopping the stream. Going to upload this one to YouTube later. Just gets it out there, done it just for fun. Might as well. And then I'll come back and I'm going to finish Golden Axe. I'm staying positive. I'm going to do it. See you in a minute.